Hey you guys! Casey here again to kick off another week of geeky vlogging with me and all the other amazing eagles that grace this channel. So there's a couple things I want to take care of before we get to this week's topic. First off, this is my third cool shirt from Anime North. Wanted, Dead and Alive, Schrodinger's cat. I thought it was adorable, couldn't help it. And also, if you haven't already noticed, fire flowers. And I feel the need to comment on Rebecca's last video. Oh my god. I, for one, am so happy that she didn't, chicken out and actually did the dance on camera. I'm very, very happy about that. You can look at it this way, I danced for her at the end of one of my videos, and she danced for me, so we are perfectly even. Also, me and the other girls have decided to begin a little something else that we're gonna do aside from our usual weekly topics. BAM! Book Club! Yes, I'm excited about this enough that I felt it needed a BAM in front of it. I'm sure the majority of you know how a book club works. Some of you might even participate in one, but I'm still going to give you the rundown of how ours is going to play out. Since I do the Sunday vlogs, I get to pick the first selection for our book club, and everyone has 1 month to read it. And during their vlogs at that time, that's when everyone gets to talk about what they thought of the book. We'll be discussing things like favorite parts, least favorite parts, favorite characters, things like that. And the cycle continues! After my book is done, then Ali gets to pick another book, and then Chelsea, etc, etc, etc. We've established a couple other rules as well. One is that the books can't be obscenely thick. Believe it or not, we do have lives outside of our reading time. And also no obscure books. The books have to be library friendly, at least to the majority of us. I have to say the library rule scared the crap out of me at first since everybody lives at such different places, but I did manage to find something, and that something I found happens to be one of my favorite books. The first selection that I've made for the Vlogging Eagles book club is, here we go, Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. For the record, I could be butchering the name of the authors, I don't know, but that's how they sound. So this book is only about 3 years old. I got it for Christmas Eve from my aunt one year. Around the time it just came out, you can tell because it's in hardcover. I got into it that very night, and I got so into it, in fact, that I didn't want to go to sleep. But I made myself put the book down because I wanted to cherish it. That year, I was more excited about this book than Christmas itself. That is saying something. Alright, and for a little background, these authors have done other books together as well. One of them that I own is Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, which was pretty funny. Also, if any of you have heard of, here it is, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, they wrote the book that movie is based off of. I'm thinking a lot of you might have heard of David Levithan. He's a big American young adult author. For those of you who don't read young adult books or perhaps are Canadian, he has written quite a bit. Not his newest, but his second newest book is one I have called Every Day, which I love. This is an advanced reader's copy. Booyah. So the book I've chosen is a young adult book. It is set in New York City around the time of Christmas and New Year's. The reason that I picked this for our book club is because it's a really funny book and it had me hooked from the very start. It is an entertaining read, and that's why I want to share it with everyone else. So there you guys have it. Go borrow or download your own copy and get reading. And if any of you viewers are interested in joining our little book club as well, you are more than welcome to. Just read the book, and when you're finished, make a video response and tag it to one of our videos. I will say though, I'm a little nervous about this process. I remember reading in this autobiography, one that I never fully finished. It was called Tolstoy and the Purple Chair by Nina Sankovich, I believe. She talked about how lending a book to a coworker or a friend or a family member is a very complicated affair. Here's hoping that no one hates the book so much they set fire to their physical copy or their e-reader. Here's hoping. Alright, now let's get on to the topic for the week. It's story time, and the story that we'll be sharing with you guys this week is to talk about our first online friends. I originally didn't think I was going to have a lot to share with you guys in this topic, but when I started thinking back and looking at old chat histories and things like that, it didn't turn out to be the case. I suppose we can start this story off when I was about 12 and I was getting a bit more liberal with my computer usage and with my internet browsing. I plan on starting this video off with a warning to any viewers that happen to have kids, especially if they are old enough that they know how to use a computer. Parental controls are your best friend. I'm not kidding. There are far too many sites out there that look like some sort of online game when a parent is glancing at the screen when actually they're a sort of online chat room. A lot of these sites do have certain restrictions, like you have to be 13 or older to be a member, but kids know how to lie about their age online, so it's very easy to get on there. And once you're on there, anything can happen, either involving or right in front of your kids. It is not a good environment. Sites like Habbo Hotel are a lot like this. I'm not sure if that site is still up and running. It was when I was a kid. They look like a fun game when really it's a den of sin. That's the only way I can think of to describe it. I met a lot of people online this way that were not exactly appropriate company, and I encourage any parents out there to get familiar with the parental control settings on your computer and your internet browser. And if there's a site that your kid wants access to that they aren't able to get on their own, they should have to present you with a full case with as much detail as possible. Because if they want access to a site that is not appropriate for them, you as parents should be able to call bullshit on them very easily. Alright, I'm done with my little disclaimer. Let's jump forward in time. So when I was younger, I got into making a lot of videos with The Sims 2, and it was mainly just for fun. And when I was browsing around on MySpace one day, I happened across somebody else who made Sims 2 videos. I either posted a comment or I sent them a message, I can't remember which, but basically just telling them that I liked his work. And we started with kind of a back and forth conversation from there. This was when I was in 8th grade, by the way. There actually came a point when we started, well, dating. Go ahead, laugh. I have heard it before, but let me tell you something. He was probably the nicest of not all, but the majority of my ex-boyfriends. And I probably let him get to know me best compared to anybody else that I've dated. To this day, we're still in contact, he's still pursuing film, and we are still good friends. He is actually the one that got me into role-playing, and for a long time okay, not a long time, he was on there for like a little bit. He was actually the one that got me into role-playing. For a little while, we wrote on the same Kingdom Hearts roleplay site. I was on that site for years, and I met quite the colorful cast of role players when I was there. One of the first people that wrote with me on that site, aside from my boyfriend, her screen name was Kurosaki, because that was the name of her main character. We wrote together steady for a very long time, and her characters never failed to make me laugh. I actually haven't heard from her in a long time, which is really sad. And I would meet another role player that would open my eyes to the wonderfulness that is romantic roleplay plotting, which I later discovered just like, honestly, a couple months ago, is actually referred to as shipping. Okay, screen name and his main character name were also the same. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I believe it's Raps Kamoya. I apologize if I've said that wrong. We're still in contact over MSN, although I don't see him online as much anymore. And then came someone who I probably had the longest role-playing relationship with, although that record still stands to be broken. He has gone by many a screen name in his day, but we've known each other long enough that we're on a first name basis, so I shall refer to him as his first name, Calvin. I've lost track of how many years we were actually writing together, but it was quite a few considering that my entire span of role-playing experience will be 6 years in August, I believe. Nowadays, we do not write together anymore, but we are still in pretty constant contact. He's actually away in China right now, but he'll be coming back to the States fairly soon. I actually made a deal with him. When he gets back to where he lives in the States, and when he's finished the first book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, he has to let me know, and we are going to start the second book together. It's going to be like our own private little book club. I lent my copy of Game of Thrones to my sister-in-law, and I don't really want to bug her for it right now, plus I've got way too many other books on the go right now, so I'm just going to be patient and wait to start the second book. And the next person I'm going to mention is another role player that I'm in constant contact with. I'm pretty sure she's texting me on my phone right now. And I'm pretty sure this summer will mark 2 years that we've been writing together. Her screen name is Zona, her first name is Chandler, and it is okay if I refer to her by either one. Between the two of us, we have a couple that we're hoping to marry off in the summer at long last. My girl is named Evangeline Hopkins. She's going to be starting medical school in the fall, and her play-by is Taylor Momsen, commonly known from the Gossip Girl series and as the headliner for the Pretty Reckless. Her guy's name is Alakai Astor. He's in the police force, though I always get confused about his rank. It changes every time we move to a different site, but he's always involved in search and rescue work with his German Shepherd, Cora. And his play-by is the lovely Matt Bomer.
For my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. And I am too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan.
Zona is actually the one that got me to hop on the Matt Bomer bandwagon in the first place, and I thank her for it every time I watch an episode of White Collar and just begin to drool. I've also met a lot of other people and made other friends online, but those are the ones from my past that have made the biggest impact. I've met a lot of Eagles in the past couple, however many months has it been? When did I join? April? March? Something like that? I can't even remember. That's how sad it is. What I'm trying to say is I can't wait to get to know some of you Eagles better. In my own stuttery way of doing it. That's about it. Just a couple more things before I have to go. I have the link to my IGGPPC page down below. Do not forget to add me as a friend and chat with me. I am no stranger. I don't bite. I want to talk to you. Let's chat about random geeky things because it's so much fun. And my Twitter is down there too. I've noticed a lot more people have started to follow me since I included my Twitter into the links. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Now I'm trying to actually tweet more because I don't use Twitter all that often, but now that I'm a vlogging eagle, I've been using it a lot more frequently. Also, shit. Also, I have recently purchased the game Animal Crossing New Leaf for the 3DS. If anyone here that is watching happens to own that game, you can message me in any of the forums below and I can give you my friend code and I can come visit your town, you can come visit mine. My house is actually looking pretty nice and I've only had the game for a week, so booyah. Okay, that's it. Bye!